Hello and welcome back to the channel, and I also want to wish everyone a very happy and blessed new year 2026. So today's video is actually inspired by a comment that someone left on my channel recently. I'm assuming that this woman that left this comment is probably a dark-skinned black woman. I don't know. I don't know why anyone else would make a comment like this on my channel. But anyway, the comment basically said that she could not believe that my channel was named Light Skinned and Proud of It. She went on to say that, me knowing how colorism is in the world, how dare I call my channel Light Skinned and Proud of It, knowing all of the issues with colorism and all of the issues that dark-skinned women have to go through in this world. And then she went on to bring in black men and say how, they were indoctrinated at a young age on only to like light-skinned women, and I should not be naming my channel this. My response to this woman was, why would I not be proud of my skin tone? And I went on to tell her that if she created her own YouTube channel and called her YouTube channel Dark Skin and Proud of It, I would applaud her. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I actually applaud black women who have channels that uplift their phenotype and uplift their skin tone. I have no problem with it at all. The only issue I have is when some of these black women begin talking down on lighter skinned women, and also just, hammering in the colorism message on their channel and going against any woman that's lighter than them. That's when I have a problem with it. But I told this woman, hey, if you created your own YouTube channel and named it Dark Skin and Proud of It, I would applaud you. I really would. I would be happy for you. I would applaud you. And I think that's a great thing to do. And, I told her that her comment sounded very ignorant and that she sounds like she needs to get out more in the world, to see more of the world. So, this is not going to be like a super long video, but I did just want to touch on, for any people out there that feel this way about light-skinned people, and I'm pretty sure that I'm speaking for many light-skinned people, men and women. But for the people that have a problem with light-skinned men and light-skinned women simply existing, okay, because that really is what it is, simply existing, that is something that you need to go to God with, and you really need to work on yourself, okay? That's not normal, okay? That's a sickness. That's a problem. That really is a problem. And I would even go as far to say the same thing goes for a light-skinned person. If a light-skinned person just simply hates dark-skinned people just because they're dark-skinned, that is a problem, and it definitely needs to be studied and addressed. I don't know where that type of behavior would come from. It could probably come from a lot of different, aspects. Maybe they were bullied when they were little. Maybe they were sexually abused or abused by a darker skinned person, or maybe their father or their mother was a darker skinned person and wasn't in their life, or, there's so many scenarios that could go into that of the reason why someone would feel that way. But again, my channel is Light Skin and Proud of It, so I am speaking particularly for light-skinned people. If you are a darker-skinned African American or a darker-skinned black person of the diaspora, and you you have a problem with lighter-skinned women simply because they're light-skinned. You don't know you don't know why you don't like them. You just don't like them because they're light skinned. You have a problem. You really do have a problem. And that is something that only you are going to be able to heal from and figure out where it came from, okay? As a light-skinned, black identifying woman in the United States, I'm very proud of my skin tone. And it's not even about me being proud because I'm light-skinned. It's not even about the fact that I'm light-skinned. It's the fact that this is the skin tone that God gave me, and I'm proud. I'm proud of my skin tone. I find all of the positives about my skin tone, instead of finding all the negatives, because trust me, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of negative things that light-skinned women could find if we wanted to just go down the list and dig deep, but I don't do that. I celebrate my skin tone. I celebrate the wins that my skin tone brings me. The different variations of makeup that I can wear, the different variations of just everything about my skin tone, how I can tan easily, and I think that darker skinned women need to do the same. They need to discover the wins. They need to discover the positive aspects of their skin tone. Because there are so many different ranges of skin tones, there's just so many, especially in the black community. There are so many different tones and so many different colors and ranges, and they're just all beautiful, and I really think that light-skinned women, a lot of times, and I've heard this in the comments, I've heard women, make comments and confirm this, that they feel like they're not allowed to openly say out loud that they like their skin color. That's a problem. And I've never been like that. Like, you will never catch me afraid to say I like my skin tone, I mean, if darker skinned black women are allowed to like their skin tone and they're allowed to, preach to the world about their beautiful melanin and how, they're darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And if they're allowed to do that, why can't we do that? Because light-skinned women are beautiful, and we have an amazing range of skin tones that we can literally become throughout the year. And that is a superpower. That is something that not everybody can do. And I think that more light-skinned women need to, voice how proud they are of their heritage, of their skin tone, of their ethnicity. And also, again, I'm not going to make the video long, but another thing, being light-skinned, you have to remember our light skin came from somewhere. Our light skin came from somewhere. And you cannot just cancel out the ethnicity of where your light skin came from. You just can't cancel that out. For me, I've never actually had like a, DNA test of where my ancestors came from. I know my brother did one, and I believe we had some ancestry in West Africa, but we also had some Irish and some German. We had more West African, I believe, but we can't just ignore the parts that we don't have. And for me, my grandmother was, she wasn't like as light-skinned as me, but my grandmother was more of a red color. And then my other grandmother on my dad's side was very light-skinned, and she was more Indian, I would say, than actually African-American. But of course, all the rules came in, where they kicked out like the black Indians out of the tribe. So there's a lot in my family that have to do with that aspect of being Indian. But if you were to see her pictures, she looked like a typical Indian woman. And she had very long hair. And, so it's like when I look at myself in the mirror, I think of my grandparents. I think of my grandmothers. And that is where my skin tone came from. Now, my grandfather on my mother's side, who is from the South, he was a very dark-skinned man. And I have a lot of, more darker skinned people on my mother's side, down her bloodline. And it's not that I don't have that, in my family, because I do. My family is made up of a wide range of colors of African Americans, but me particularly, God allowed me to come out the shade that I came out. And I'm going to be proud of that. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to, if I go to a family reunion and, I walk up to a crowd of women and, they're all dark skinned, I'm not going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed because I'm light skinned. All eyes are on me. And honestly, not being funny, that is really a real scenario where a lighter skinned woman will walk into a room, or not even a room, a family reunion or a family event, and everyone is staring, like all eyes are on her. Everyone is staring at her simply because she's most likely the lighter person in the room. So I can make a whole nother video on that because I have a lot of stories on that. But I just wanted to, encourage light-skinned women that it is okay to be light-skinned, okay? It's okay. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. Like, be proud of your light-skinned, okay? Be proud of it. Whether you are a high yellow, yellow bone, red bone, whatever you want to call yourself, be proud of your light skin. Our light skin is beautiful. There are so many positive aspects to our skin tone. And do some Black men prefer lighter skinned women? Of course. And it's very clear in the media, the way that they put these lighter skinned models and lighter skinned women up on a pedestal, and, the hip hop community, the way they describe, the type of women that most of them desire. It's usually a lighter skinned woman, but there are also Black men who do not want light-skinned women. There are Black men that prefer dark-skinned women. I have heard it out of men's mouths. I've seen videos. I've seen plenty of Black men say that. I've seen Black men make fun of light-skinned women. I've seen Black men say that they want their bloodline to be their color, and they need a chocolate woman. And there is nothing wrong with that. Do I get upset when I hear that? No, I actually applaud it. I'm like, good, because I look at it like they want to keep their shade in their bloodline. They want to keep that shade going in their family. That's fine. That's fine. And sometimes lighter skinned people would prefer to get a, light-skinned man or light-skinned women, specifically because they want to keep light skin in their family. Hey, I don't have a problem with that if that's what they do. But my point is that light-skinned women are not like just everybody wants them. They are the best, they are at the top. That's not true. Like, there are actually Black men who prefer dark-skinned women and who are not even attracted to light-skinned women. And also, there are men outside of the Black race. I've seen white men and Hispanic men that prefer dark-skinned women. So I just think that people need to get out more, see the world more, get out of the United States, travel more, and just learn to love the skin that you're in, and just realize that there are so many different shades of people throughout this world. And if you do not like somebody because of their skin tone, you are just a shallow human being. You really are. You're just a shallow human being. And this is a very big problem in the Black community against light-skinned women. And it's a huge problem. The jokes that I see about light-skinned people, the jokes that I see about light-skinned men. I probably see like more jokes, honestly, about light-skinned men. I don't go out and like, search for the jokes, but I'm just speaking on the top of my head what I can remember, the kind of jokes that I see. Like I've seen jokes of like Prince. I've seen like little memes and just jokes of Prince, like putting makeup on him or just making fun of somebody saying, you're acting like Prince. I've seen people say you're acting light skinned. With light skinned women, I don't know. I don't feel like I've really seen that many heavy jokes, but I have seen the jokes like where they show, you know, a light skinned woman having a mustache because, as light skinned women, if we do get hair on our face, it is more noticeable, especially the older light skinned women. So I have seen them kind of talk about that. But yeah, I think it's a big problem. And I think that if lighter skinned people went around making memes and black faces of very dark skinned black Americans, it would be a huge problem. It'd probably start a war. So, that's all I have to say about that topic. But this channel is named Light Skin and Proud of It because I am light skinned and proud of it. And I hope that all my light skinned brothers and sisters out there, I hope that you guys are light skinned and proud of it. I really do. I hope you guys are proud of it because you are beautiful. I hope to see you all on my very next video. Take care.